Welcome to the Unapologetic Man Podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it. What is up, ya champions? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Unapologetic Man Podcast. God bless almighty, you are a goddamn champion. For tuning back into this podcast. I just respect it so much. I actually just had a couple coaching applications come in, and bro, when those come in, woo, the level of championhood that I feel for the guys who submit them is beyond words, man. I just respect you guys so much who are willing to take a risk, invest in yourself, face your fears, and man up because you're sick and tired of punking down. These fucking champions that come in, respect you so much, brother. So in today's episode, we are going to talk about how many girls you have to approach, interact with, date, have sex with before I feel like you're going to be where you want to be. And I know where you guys want to be, right? I hear it day in and day out. It's basically attract any woman at will, or at the very least, improve your results significantly where you're culling the herd. And when I say culling the herd, I mean you're the selector, you're dropping girls because you got too many options. You basically are wearing that all-important wristband that says, what would I do if I were dating 4 girls? Which, by the way, is the golden rule that you should put every decision with a woman through before you make that decision. You say, before I text this girl back, what would I do if I were dating 4 girls? Would I text her back right now? Probably not. Would I spaz out because she's seeing other guys? Probably not. Would I try to follow up with her? Hell to the no. So I know that in your endeavors, you want to achieve that level of mastery. Now, obviously, this podcast is a little difficult because there's a myriad of guys listening right now, myriad of different situations, all of which come into my program. Some guys get success amazingly fast and other guys, it takes a little bit longer. But I'm going to tell you the average. I'm going to tell you the average of how many girls you need to approach roughly based on the average numbers that I've seen in my years of experience doing this. How long it would take you to do it alone, just listening to podcasts. And maybe if you're smart, working on yourself with NLP, which I know the vast majority of you guys won't do unless you come into my program. And then that option, coming into my program, how long does it take the average guy to really get success? Okay, now here's the situation with me. I'm honest, okay? I don't bullshit you. I don't give pie in the sky fantasy fucking results. I don't play it to you in a roundabout way. I play it to you straight. And it's the same thing in my advertising. I see goddamn dating coaches advertising like, I will turn you a girl magnet in 4 weeks. It's like, come on, bro. Get realistic. This is real talk. This is real reality. And I want to be real with you guys. And this even includes my NLP, which is a brain remapping protocol that I put my clients through. That's included in my program, and I'm going to give you the results that most guys get. So speaking of my program, I want to read a quick testimonial. I know. Don't get butthurt about it. Let me flex up a little bit, bro. Remember, I don't let advertisers pay to come onto this podcast. All I advertise is my own program because frankly, it's the thing I believe most in. It works, it gets results. And here's my boy Trey telling us about all the results that he got. He says, hi, Mark. It's been something like just over a year since the start of your program. What I can say is that it's been utterly life-changing. I see the world so differently. It's as if I've been awoken and now I'm inherently aware of all kinds of social situations that unfold before me. I'm now dating a woman that never I would have thought that I would have had a chance with, but I applied and continue to apply your techniques. We're a few months in and we're both completely smitten. Be careful with that, Trey. You know the 8100 rule. If she's smitten, it's fine for you to be a little bit smitten, but don't come unpeeled now, bro. I know some of you guys get excited. Anyway, I just want to let you know that I still do the NLP regularly, listen to the UMP, fucking champion, and continue to go through the material. I have so much gratitude that I've been stifled for a long time by how many things I want to write. And the more time that goes by, the more I want to say. I hardly feel that my gratitude is enough for what you've given me, but I promise I'll write a review of your coaching program soon. Oh, I thought that was the review. That's a good enough review, Trey. You don't have to write me back. And it will be epic, says Trey. Trey, thank you so much. You are a goddamn champion. Glad to hear that you met a bona fide dime piece. And let's look at what Trey said, because it's a very good example of how long it takes most guys to get results, both in my program and without my program. So how long did it take Trey? Took Trey about a year before he was really pulling. Now, when I say really pulling, this is different for most people. Really pulling to you could be 10 after 10 after 10. Really pulling to somebody else could be like 7s, 6s, and sometimes 8s. To me, really pulling is 10s. So we're going to frame this conversation from that perspective. How long does it take most guys who come into my program to really fucking pull? About a year. Now you may be asking, but your program's only 3 months. How is it that it takes a year? Because here's the situation. It takes me 3 months to teach you everything I know about seduction. And I don't try to upsell you at the end after you've graduated to get my real secrets. Fuck that. I give you everything I know, drip fed to you over 3 months so your subconscious mind can memorize it all. And then you got to keep practicing. Of course, there's a shit ton of accountability in my program. There's a shit ton of practicing where I make you guys do reps. I make you meet women. I make you get girls into your bed, but you got to keep practicing that shit afterwards. It's a skill set, boys. And that's what a lot of guys don't understand. They think that somebody's just going to give them 6 lines and remap their brain real quick so they walk in a certain way and then girls jump in the air and slide onto their dick. Let's be real here, and I promised you I would. It takes fucking reps upon reps upon reps. So in the program, I have my guys open and eject with 20 girls per week. Open and eject means you open them, have an innocent conversation, and then say goodbye. As the program goes, we stack in tactics, techniques, gambits, and attraction building material so that you can turn those basic conversations into attraction ignition machines to where she gets attracted to you. She gives you 3 signs of attraction. You go for the phone number. Everything after that is very simple and very templated. What you text her, what you do on the first date, how you physically escalate. I teach it all. But again, you need practice. So you get some guys who come into the program who are already doing decent. Oh my hell, man. Within 3 months, they easily 10x their results. Those guys take sometimes 2 to 3 months before they're like, yeah, dude, this is the result I wanted to achieve. I'm good. Hard cases, on the other hand, guys who haven't had a date in months, guys who haven't been laid in years, guys who just kind of repel women naturally, it takes longer than that. And I'm not going to bullshit you. Once again, I don't just do some magical spell on you and you turn into a girl magnet. I do the magical spells and it's going to radically increase your success in a shorter amount of time. But this is real life, boys, and you got to do the fucking reps. How do you hit a fastball pitched in the upper zone? You get into the batting cages and do swing after swing after swing, hundreds if not thousands of pitches before you can recognize it leaving the pitcher's hand. And you're saying, that's fastball. I can tell by the way it's spinning. I'm going to swing here, have a high chance of hitting it. That's the same thing with chicks. Think about the hobbies that you're into. How long did it take you to get really good at them? Then look at how many hours it took to improve to that level that you're at today. Sometimes it's thousands of hours, isn't it? It's the same thing with chicks. Now, obviously in my program, I give you the shortcut up the mountain, but yeah, it takes the average guy 6 months to a year. A year is on the long end. Most of my guys, I'd say 6 to 8 months, they really start cracking the code. Now, it also depends on how many girls you're opening, which is a huge, huge part. And that's why I say that this program isn't an information-based program. It's a transformation program because you get in the field, you meet girls. As I always say, I want girls in your bed as soon as possible. Getting a girl into the bed of my clients isn't the biggest question. That's not really hard. We do it usually very quickly. It's the consistency and the hotness of the girls that matters. So if you want to get 6s and 5s, dude, we can get you there in a couple months. It's not very hard. There's so many methods. There's so many ways to fill the top of your pipeline. And there's so many aha moments in the program. That's not hard. What I said is that I want to get you fucking 10s. Takes most dudes, like I said, 6, 8 months, some guys a year. Most guys don't take longer than a year, but that is if they're doing the work. What's the work? Approaching about 20 girls a week. Okay, 20 girls a week times 3 months is 240 girls. If you were to talk to, open, approach, flirt with 240 girls on your own, you too would ramp up your results. But in conjunction with that, we do the brain remapping. Your belief systems dictate your behavior. Now, I know this is a little complicated, boys. Try to stick with me. Your belief systems, what's going on between your 2 ears, dictates your behavior. Women's attraction for you is based on your behavior. So if you believe in yourself, you hold yourself differently, you speak differently, your results are going to go like this. Now that begs the question, what if you're a dude who doesn't want to invest in himself, you're scared, you make the excuse you don't have money, whatever it is, and you're just going at it alone? You're listening to podcasts, you're getting techniques, but you're not doing any deliberate brain remapping. You're not addressing your traumas from the past. You're not addressing bad belief systems. How long would that take? Honestly, I was that dude before I found NLP, 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years. And that's consistently opening chicks. I had a guy tell me he was a great pickup artist. He's like, dude, if you do this alone, without anybody showing you the way, it's about 10,000 hours. About 10,000 hours to master anything to that level. When you have a dude show you a way, obviously that cuts down the learning curve substantially, and it becomes more like 1,000 hours or 2,000 hours, depending on your experience, depending on how you're coming in, and also the level of traumas that you've had. So there's that huge birth between the two, but the most important thing, whether you're doing the shortcut with me or you're doing it on your own, is opening. Now, immediately, a lot of you are saying, dude, I haven't even opened one chick. Like, I'm fucking terrified of women. I get that, and that's why I teach approach and eject. You don't have to try to get them attracted to you. You don't have to yank phone numbers. All you have to do is approach, ask a question, maybe another question, and then eject. Then we ramp you up and we ease you into it, bro. Like an old man into a warm bath where you're finally comfortable to just approach. And it's like talking to an old friend. You're not intimidated by this chick because you've talked to hundreds of others. And that's the point we get our guys to. Once you get comfortable, then you can think on your feet. And this is a huge point that I really want you to consider. What happens when you talk to a really hot girl for a lot of you guys? You get scared, you get stifled. My friend Sarah, and I think I mentioned this in either a previous podcast or an IG post, my friend Sarah was trying to ask this guy a question. He's like, and then he just walked away. Like, didn't even engage her, just walked away. Because she's so hot, he was so intimidated by her hotness, he seized up. And this is adrenaline. So when you're talking to girls initially, especially ones you're attracted to, you get an adrenaline dump. An adrenaline dump curtails your ability to think on your feet. You're not able to do those fine motor movements, which include being funny, being witty, being able to banter, being able to come up with random things off the top of your head because you're in a fight or flight mode. How do we get through that? Couple things. First of all, as I talked about in a previous episode, stop giving girls so much credit. Secondly, you rep it out until you get used to that social pressure. And thirdly, NLP. You begin to believe in yourself through the brain remapping. You no longer give her so much credit. When you don't give her credit, the adrenaline goes down and you can think on your feet. Furthermore, the old bracelet, bro. What would I do if I were dating 4 girls? You don't give a shit what happens with her. So you become outcome independent. So how do we get there for you guys listening who, and I can't even believe you're doing this, fucking boggles my mind, won't come into my program. All right, I'm giving you guys shit. I understand it's not for everybody. Don't get butthurt because I keep calling you out on it. But truly, I think it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I'm just fucking absolutely shocked beyond myself that every single one of you doesn't come in. But you're going to do what you want to do. Your Uncle Mark Sing still got your back. So this is what you do. You got to get reps, you fucking idiot. You got to get reps. And there's no other way around it. I know how a lot of you are. And I guarantee you there's at least a couple thousand of you listening right now. If I just listen to one more podcast, bro, if I just get one more audiobook, if I just get one more PDF download that teaches me how to do it, then I'll go do it. What you're doing is you're pushing it off in the future, but I'll tell you what, your future is a replica of your past almost every single time. What differentiates the men from the boys is the fucking men get out there and just start. You don't have to have everything perfect. For example, I'm running IG ads. I just bought into this really expensive program where I paid a dude to teach me how to run IG direct ads, which means we put an ad out there, says DM me, and then they send me a message, thus putting me in the power position, quote unquote. Do you think my ads are perfect to begin with? Fuck no, bro, tater cuff. They're horrible. I actually made the first one in Canva. Never really used Canva before, but it looks like a piece of crap sitting on a log that got shit on further by a sumo wrestler and then pissed on by a chick named Taylor Swift. It looks like shit. But what I'm doing is just getting started. I'm just getting data. I'm just putting it out there to teach myself. How do you learn? You fail. You fail quickly and you fail as fast as possible so you get it over with. Look at my first podcast. Actually, don't. But if you went back to my very first podcast, we called it Just Do It, man. I don't know why I named it that. Just do it, man. Which means just start, see how it goes. Ready, fire, aim is what it's called. Which means you just fire the gun and then you aim after you've seen where you've missed. So this is really important in this concept of how to get good with girls. The initial approach is strangers are friends I haven't met yet. I'm just going to talk to everybody. Doesn't matter what happens. Why? Because I'm not even trying to get phone numbers right now. Just talking to people. I'm just giving value. I'm trying to brighten their day. I'm a go giver, as I always say, rather than a go taker, which unfortunately a lot of dudes are. Want to take her phone number, take her on a date, take off her underwear. You don't want to be that dude. You want to be a go-giver who's getting reps. Batting cages, boys. So for you golf lovers, you're on that little putt-putt course trying to sink your putts. That's all you're doing. Reps upon reps upon reps. From that, you're going to develop a skill set. Inevitably, you are going to get some clients, quote unquote, just like my IG ads. There's going to be some clients that are gone through the initial practicing stage. You're going to get some chicks in your bed. You're going to meet some girls who you like and some that you don't like. You're going to refine your skills, and then you're going to get better and better and better. But if I had to do this all over again, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I've seen it from both perspectives. I would hire a coach. I'm just being completely fucking straight honest with you. Even if it's not me, find somebody else. I really don't give a shit. But hiring somebody to take you up the mountain, just like I did with Instagram to get me to the top level of Instagram. By the way, if you haven't followed me yet, my follows are starting to skyrocket because I'm putting out better content. I'm asking you guys to follow me. It's growing just like you're going to grow, but it's because I'm doing a high quality video a day. I'm starting to do stories. I'm really taking it seriously. And most importantly, I hired somebody to show me the way. I just can't believe more people don't do this. But again, if you're going to go it alone, dude, you got to rep it out. You got to get so comfortable talking to chicks that it's literally that your body language is as comfortable as you are sitting there watching this right now or listening to this. Whatever you're doing, I can almost guarantee you have comfortable body language. Why? Because you're probably relaxed. You know, you're not in a high pressure situation. You're sitting here listening to a podcast, so you're probably relaxed. I need your body language to be that comfortable in front of chicks. Is it when you're talking to a really hot girl, that last girl who you baited to on Pornhub with your Pornhub frequent masturbator platinum card? Are you that comfortable in front of chicks like that? For the vast majority of you, it's obviously no. That's why you're listening to this podcast. So go get reps. It's going to take most of you guys 2, 3, sometimes 5 years. Come into my program could take 2, 3 months or a year at the most. And that's the differentiating factor. So how many girls do we have to open? From about 300 to 2,500, I would say, before you're really good. Really hard cases, you got to get up there in the thousands. This brings me into another point too. To speed up this process, one of the best things you can do is put yourself in a situation where you're forced to interact with endless chicks, like one after the other after the other. That's why I was a bouncer for 5 years. The 5 years I was a bouncer, God, dude, it must have been like 30,000 girls that I interacted with. And that's why I could be so comfortable. So that when I go approach a hot chick in a nightclub and I'm completely calm, there's almost no adrenaline dumping in my brain. She feels that from me. She knows I'm high value. She knows I'm attractive, and she gets attracted to me just by virtue of reps, by virtue of working on what's inside here. And I'm pointing to my head for those of you listening on audio, so that it's sub-communicated that you're comfortable, and you do that by getting reps. So put yourself in a situation, go be a bouncer, a bartender, a waiter, work at a tanning salon, do yoga, I don't know, whatever you can think of. You want to get yourself in as many situations as you can to speed up that process. Who wants to spend the next 5 years trying to get better with chicks? Don't we have better things to do? That's why, again, man, it's just hiring a coach, even if it's not me. Go do it, dude. Go do it. Whoever it is, please hire a coach. He's going to get you there so much quicker than if you went at it alone. But that's the no BS assessment, right? It's going to take most guys about 3 months to a year in my program. It's going to take most guys about 3 years to 5 years just going it alone, particularly if they have a lot of bullshit in their head and they don't have a really focused way to work on it. I mean, I hate to say this too, but I've seen it happen. Some guys never get the results. I've had guys who just bought PDFs and listen to podcasts who are still alone. And they, like a lot of you, are like, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. And then 10 years later, they still haven't done it. Don't be that dude, man. At the very least, boys, go execute, okay? Strangers are friends I haven't met yet. Have that philosophy, go out, give value, and you're gonna get the practice that most of you desperately need. All right, gentlemen, I do appreciate you listening to this podcast. Once again, bro, we are open to you and we would love to meet you. There's never a right time. You know, a lot of guys are like, oh, I'll do it later once this and this happens. There's never a right time. Just like these IG ads. Dude, I'm moving. My taxes are due. I'm like applying for mortgages. It's such bad timing. But I was like, fuck it, man. There is no good time. So just execute. And when you bet on yourself and you invest in yourself, the universe will conspire to help you. It happens time and time again. not only to me, but to every single client who comes into my coaching program. Go to my website, CoachMarkSing.com, click on coaching, fill in the quick application, submit it. You and I are going to email back and forth a little bit. You're going to get an understanding of what the program is and what it entails. Then you're going to meet with my partner and wingman, the famous, the champion, the legend, Victor Lynch, on a free 1-hour breakthrough session to see if we can help you. It's a no pressure meet and greet. It's an NLP session to see what your issues are and how long. And this is something we do. We quote you how long it would take you doing it alone and then doing it with our help. So if you're interested in that, please sign up today. We'd love to meet you. I drop podcasts on Mondays and Thursdays, gentlemen, so please stay tuned for the next one, and I will see you in the next episode.